So we've been having issues digging since probably like, as you can see right here, there's about a 90-degree angle. Except for I made the 2x4 half an inch longer instead of half an inch shorter. Right, after countless setbacks and a few modifications, I guess.
Baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand.
Hello friends, it is another beautiful day here on the homestead. We've had a ton of rain recently, and while I am always thankful for rain, it is nice to have a few sunny days to be able to get some progress done on the back half of our fence. I really want to get this fence done. I think that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be working outside during the day, and then in the afternoon we're going to come in and work on the actual inside of the container house. That's what we've pretty much been doing recently, and that's worked really well for us. So Cody is mowing back there because the bugs are insane, the mosquitoes are insane. We're hoping that by mowing everything down a little bit, it will help that and we won't get eaten alive today. I'm literally covered in bites. Ignore that if you see them, it's disgusting. If you watched our last video, you know that he got all of the drywall painted in the living room. It looks so good. We're probably gonna do a second coat tonight in a couple areas. And then another really exciting thing that we have going on is if you look behind me, we got our glass in. So Cody broke the glass door, I don't know, maybe like a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago, when he was mowing the lawn. A rock was thrown into the glass and the entire thing shattered. We were able to put duct tape on it so it all stayed in one piece, but we have been waiting for the warranty to come through so we could get new glass. We finally picked it up this morning, so I think he's also going to install that. Also, I know that everybody says that they hate when I talk with my hands. I'm sorry, that's just me. I will try to stop.
For their solar panel, they advertise the wattage at 420, and the highest I've seen it get is 424. And
So
like,
what
that's,
is that above? Can I even do that? Go above?
well, yeah, it can. It's just, it's pretty crazy because typically they'll advertise like, if it's 420, then it'll actually make like 380 on a perfect condition. So to see it get up to 424 is pretty crazy.
Shoo.
All right, before we move forward, I just want to take a quick moment to thank today's sponsor, and that is Bluetti. I know we've been talking about Bluetti a lot lately, and the reason why is that out of all the different power stations that we've tried, Bluetti has by far been the most powerful and the most reliable. And because of that, we decided to enter into a partnership with Bluetti, because we only want to promote the products that we use and 100% can fully trust.
So with that being said, if you are interested in trying out the Bluetti AC500 for yourself, or you're interested in learning more about the brand and their products, make sure you check out all of the information in the description, and I even have a discount code for you.
So thanks again to Bluetti for sponsoring today's video, and thanks again to y'all for staying here and watching with us.
All right, let's get back to it. So like I said, we're starting the back half of this fence off, which means we are going this way. We're gonna measure it out. We're gonna dig the hole. We're gonna test the post, make sure the posts fit. Then we're gonna use the router and outline everything. We're gonna check, what is it called? We're gonna check the cattle panel, and then we're going to prep the concrete, put the concrete in the ground, measure everything again, level it all out, put the top piece in. Oh, I forgot about the bottom piece. I forgot about the bottom. We're gonna put the bottom piece in at some point, right?
Yeah.
It's okay, we'll figure it out.
Except the first thing I'm gonna do is router this post.
Oh man.
Okay, so we're about to start on the back row, and we're going to be doing things a little bit different for this back row, so I just kind of wanted to explain. As you know, our cattle panels started out at 16 foot long. We cut them in half to make them 8 foot long, but then that leaves us with, let me show you. That leaves us with one of the panels not having an end. They're just kind of sticking out like this. So we're going to cut all these flush, and that's actually going to make it 7 feet long. The math still works out the same for the distance we're doing. It's just going to be a little bit closer together basically for each post. We've been having issues digging since probably like that post over there. It's like the last 4 posts. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna do this for the rest of the fence. Like obviously something's wrong. I gotta figure out what it is. So I'm looking and I'm like, man, these freaking teeth are completely bent down. No wonder it's not digging anywhere. So these guys right here are supposed to match this angle and come out like this. And as you can see right here, there's about a 90-degree angle. I've been beating them with the sledgehammer. I tried to bend it back with a piece of pipe, and they've moved like ½ an inch. So I think I'm gonna have to torch them, unfortunately.
Show them a picture of what it's supposed to look like.
See, so it should kind of come straight out almost, with maybe a little bit of angle down instead of being 90 degrees.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tried beating it with a sledgehammer. I tried using a piece of square steel tubing and getting a bunch of leverage and bending it back, and all I really did was destroy the bolt on that side. So the steel's just a little too thick, and I tried to torch it, but I ran out of acetylene gas in my torch. So,
We're just struggling all around.
yeah, so we need to pick up some gas for the torch, and I'll be able to get this one fixed later, but for now I think we're just going to pick up another one.
If Rural King even has
yeah,
one.
if they have one in stock. This one's a 6-inch, so I'm probably going to get like an 8 or a 9-inch. I think they might have a 9. That way it'll make a little less digging for us also, because typically we have to widen the hole a little bit, and then we'll have a second one in case something like this happens.
So what does that mean, a mid-project Rural King run? Is anybody shocked? Because I'm sure not. Also, because we went and picked up our door this morning, That sun being in that location means we probably have like what, a solid 4 hours. So, love that. Didn't have one. We hopped over to Orscheln's. They don't have one. What's next?
I don't know.
What are we gonna do?
I mean, we can go to Tractor Supply in Troy, but that's like 45 minutes one way.
So Cody found one at another Tractor Supply in Herman, which Herman is a little bit closer than Troy, so we are headed there to go pick it up. We're hoping that this saves us time in the long run, simply because if we don't have an auger, then we're gonna have to dig everything by hand, or he's going to have to take the auger off and go fix it, and we don't really know how long that's going to take.
Not to mention, we got kind of an auger that was a little bit too small for what we needed in the first place, because Rural King only supplies 6-inch ones. They didn't have anything any bigger. And ideally we wanted a 12-inch. So with each post that we've been digging, we've been having to make the holes a little bit wider by hand. So having a 9-inch one or a 12-inch one will save us from having to dig quite so much too. We're all the way out here and we don't ever really come out here. We figured we'd stop and get some dinner while we're here. We're at Wings Ablazing. We've never been here, but let's go try it out. All right, let's try this again. It's not supposed to be super hot today, but that sun is definitely cooking right now.
You told me 70-degree weather today.
Yeah, it's 78. So we started moving the canopy over and the saw and everything just so it's closer to where we're working at. We got our hole dug. We're about to start measuring for the 2x4, and then we'll get the post in and make sure it lines up well. and put the cattle panel in, and then pour some concrete in there.
So like Cody said yesterday, because we are making the back half of the fence a little bit shorter than we did this side, we are going to be cutting the cattle panel shorter, which means our 2x4s for top and bottom need to be shorter. So everything needs to be cut, which means we need to use our miter saw, so let's plug it in. We're having like a major pancake situation. You know how like the first one's always a little rough? That's what's happening here.
We're an inch off, or half an inch off, and that is because I accounted for half an inch for the cattle panel to be able to sit in the channels, except for I made the 2x4 half an inch longer instead of half an inch shorter. So I'm gonna have to trim that a little bit. After countless setbacks and a few modifications, I guess, our first crappy pancake is about ready. So we're gonna go ahead and start mixing up some concrete and get it in the hole. Oh, cool, we're still 99. So what I had Summer do there was turn on what's called powerlifting mode. So if you don't know what that is, with a lot of these larger power bank systems, if you're using a higher draw tool like a air compressor or a cement mixer, for instance, then sometimes whenever it gets a really big load put on the system, it can want to go into safety mode and turn itself off just for protection, basically. And so by turning on powerlifting mode, it knows that you're using these high amperage tools or appliances, so it basically will give it a little more power, withhold a little bit longer before it goes into safety shut-off mode. All right, now for the next problem that we're gonna run into. Our next post is in the middle of that stump. I think instead of trying to deal with that forever and it not working. I'm just gonna go a little bit short right here and basically just put in a little man gate right here, so that way I can put the post outside of the stump and then be able to go past it for the next post. So the biggest thing we would probably ever have to get through any of our gates is going to be our tractor, which it looks like it's just about 4 foot wide. As long as we can get 4 foot or a little bit more between the two posts, then we should be good to go. Should be plenty of room. I got the next post marked and I'm almost ready to drill, but Summer's not feeling the best, and she is my partner working in this kind of stuff, so typically she would be the one to make sure that my post auger is completely straight and level before I start digging, because it's a lot easier for her to see it standing right next to it than it is for me to be able to tell while I'm on the tractor. So what I'm going to do is I have these line levels from whenever we did the foundation for the storage container, and so I'm just going to take some super glue and glue them to the casing on top of the post hole diggers, so that way I can see from the tractor a little bit easier if it's level or not. Oh, and it already stuck to my finger. It's not even gonna stick there. I guess we'll see, but I don't really have high hopes for it sticking at this point. The white one stuck. I guess we'll see. All right, so I got the second post over here behind me done. I decided to just leave this area open instead of stopping to try and figure out how I'm gonna build the gates right now, because I still have 2 more gates that we're gonna have to build. I figured we'd just go and do all the gates at once. So now that I have this post in by itself, I'm gonna keep building down the fence line.
I just watched the footage back that Cody took while I went and took a nap, and before anybody asks or we get 1,000,001 comments, no, I'm not pregnant. I just had a headache, so I was a little dehydrated. I didn't have much water today, but figure I was just gonna go ahead and jump on that before the comment section's flooded.
Don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna